Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. If you love coins, rare treasures, and the thrill of discovering pieces of history that can change your fortune overnight, then you are in the right place. Today we are diving deep into some of the most valuable and sought-after 1-cent coins from the United States of America, including the years 1966, 1974, 1975, 1979, and 1985. These are not just everyday pennies that jingled in pockets. They are rare treasures, some with unique errors, silver-toned appearances, and unusual conditions that have made them legendary among collectors worldwide. So, before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because what we're about to reveal could very well inspire you to check your own pocket change. Let's begin with the 1966 1-cent coin, a year that came right after one of the most turbulent and transformative periods in American history. While millions were struck, there are rare varieties and unusual minting quirks from this year that set certain coins apart. Some examples display unique toning or rare striking errors that make them incredibly valuable. A collector who stumbles across a flawless 1966 penny in pristine condition could be looking at a small piece of copper worth thousands of dollars. First one. The year was 1966, a turbulent time in American history, and yet even in the smallest of things, like a humble 1-cent coin, there hides a fortune beyond imagination. The 1966 1-cent from the United States, struck during a moment of economic adjustment and shifting mint practices, has become one of the most mysterious and ultra-rare treasures in the coin collecting world. What most people see as just a penny, collectors recognize as a golden opportunity, because certain rare pieces from this year have reached astronomical values that could make a person a millionaire overnight. Imagine holding in your hand a coin once worth a single cent, now carrying the weight of millions. This coin carries with it not just monetary value, but also a story of survival and rarity. During 1966, the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure. There had been coin shortages across the country, and the government even suspended the use of mint marks for several years. That meant coins from this era were produced in bulk, but without the distinct markings that usually help identify their origins. For most collectors, this makes ordinary 1966 pennies quite common. But hidden among them are those rare gems, coins with perfect strikes, unusual errors, or unique characteristics that make them shine brighter than diamonds in the marketplace. One of the reasons the 1966 1-cent has become so sought after is its role in what many call the lost years of mint marks. While the majority of coins from this year blend together, those preserved in flawless condition, or those struck with anomalies like double dies, broad strikes, or clipped planchets, are immensely desirable. These are the coins that defy the odds, and when they surface, collectors know they are looking at history's hidden fortune. Now, picture this. You find an old jar of coins in your attic, maybe something your parents or grandparents tucked away decades ago. At the bottom, beneath a stack of modern change, lies a dull copper coin from 1966. You dismiss it at first, it's just a penny. But under closer inspection, you notice its condition is flawless, or perhaps it has an unusual strike pattern. What you hold could be one of those life-changing rarities, worth far more than gold, capable of transforming your future in an instant. The beauty of the 1966 penny is in its subtlety. Unlike flashy silver dollars or commemorative half-dollars, it is quiet, unassuming, and often overlooked. And yet, this is exactly why it can change fortunes overnight, because while others ignore it, those who recognize its potential can reap rewards beyond imagination. In the world of coin collecting, value often hides in plain sight, and the 1966 cent is the perfect example of that truth. Auction houses have witnessed the frenzy these coins create. When a rare 1966 cent in pristine uncirculated condition goes up for bidding, the atmosphere turns electric. Bidders from across the globe battle fiercely, pushing prices higher and higher until the hammer drops on a figure that would leave most people stunned. It is this competition, this hunger to own the rarest of the rare, that elevates the 1966 penny to legendary status. Collectors also prize the 1966 1-cent for its symbolic importance. It represents a turning point in America's coinage history, when mint marks disappeared temporarily, and coin production was adjusted to meet the nation's needs. Owning such a coin isn't just about money, it's about possessing a piece of history, a fragment of the nation's story preserved in copper. That story adds weight, character, and meaning to every single one of these ultra-rare coins. What makes it even more thrilling is the sheer unpredictability. While most collectors chase after well-known rarities, the 1966 penny remains a wild card. Some examples, especially those with striking errors, have been valued at unimaginable sums. They're worth climbing into the millions in today's market. This unpredictability makes every discovery a heart-pounding moment, because you never know if the coin in your pocket could be the jackpot of a lifetime. There's also a poetic quality to the rise of the 1966 penny. A coin meant to serve as the lowest denomination of currency, the least significant piece of money, has transformed into a symbol of unimaginable wealth. It's the ultimate underdog story, where the smallest and simplest becomes the most powerful. It's a reminder that in life, just like in coin collecting, greatness often comes from the most unexpected places. The aura around this coin is undeniable. Collectors whisper about it, investors dream of it, and casual enthusiasts hope to stumble across it by chance. It has become a beacon of possibility, inspiring people to take a second look at the change they dismiss daily. To hold a rare 1966 cent is to hold hope, fortune, and history, all pressed into the palm of your hand. And here's the most important thing: if you ever come across one, do not spend it or let it slip away for a low price. This coin is not meant to vanish back into circulation. It is a treasure, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It has the power to transform your financial destiny, to rewrite your story overnight. Many who have underestimated coins like this in the past have lived to regret it, as their value skyrocketed beyond what anyone could have predicted. So, as you look through your own coins, pay close attention to those pennies. That dull 1966 cent you overlook might just be your ticket to fortune. It might be the coin that sets you apart, the coin that proves luck and destiny are very real forces hiding in the simplest of places. The truth is, the 1966 penny is not just money. It's magic, it's mystery, it's fortune disguised as copper. It is the kind of treasure that makes millionaires overnight, the kind that turns ordinary people into legends in the coin world. It is one of the rarest gifts the U.S. Mint has ever given to collectors. In the end, the 1966 1 cent from the United States is a symbol of opportunity. It stands as proof that even the smallest coin, when rare and extraordinary, can carry unimaginable power. If you are lucky enough to find one, cherish it, protect it, and never sell it cheaply, because it could very well be the key to your future, the coin that transforms your life forever. The year 1974 sits quietly in the annals of American coinage, but hidden within its mintage is one of the most extraordinary treasures of modern numismatics, the 1974 1-cent coin. At first glance, it looks no different from any other Lincoln cent. It is small, coppery, and seemingly ordinary. Yet for collectors who know its secrets, this coin is a symbol of fortune so powerful it could turn an unsuspecting owner into a millionaire overnight. To understand why this particular cent is so coveted, you must look beyond its humble surface and into the fascinating story behind it. During 1974, the United States Mint was experimenting with new metals for coinage. Copper prices were rising, and the government feared that producing pennies from nearly pure copper was becoming too costly. In their search for alternatives, the Mint struck experimental 1-cent coins in aluminum and other materials. These experimental strikes were never meant for public circulation, but some slipped into the hands of collectors, lawmakers, and even ordinary citizens. Suddenly, the 1974 cent became a legend, because a tiny fraction of them existed in forms never seen before. These rare experimental coins, particularly the 1974 aluminum cents, are at the heart of the mystery. Only a handful were struck, and fewer still are known to exist today. Most were recalled and destroyed, but a few survived the melting pots of history. Those survivors are so rare that their value in today's market reaches into the millions. Imagine discovering one in your family's old coin collection, a coin that was never supposed to leave the mint, a coin that today could fund a lifetime of dreams. But even within the standard copper 1974 cents, there are rarities. Coins struck with errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even unusual planchets, are highly prized by collectors. A 1974 cent in immaculate, uncirculated condition can already fetch an impressive price, but one with a dramatic error skyrockets into a completely different category of value. These are the coins that make the headlines, commanding bids that leave spectators speechless. What makes the 1974 cent so mesmerizing is the combination of secrecy and rarity. It is not just a coin, it is a whisper of history, a glimpse into experiments that were never meant for public eyes. Each time one surfaces, it sends ripples of excitement through the coin-collecting community. The story behind it, the mystery of how it escaped destruction, adds layers of intrigue and mystique that elevate it far beyond its 1 cent face value. Collectors understand that this coin is more than money. It represents a hidden battle between cost and tradition, between the government's practical needs and the nation's attachment to its coinage. To hold a 1974 experimental cent in your hand is to hold a moment of transition, a relic of a time when America stood at a crossroad in its monetary history. That significance is part of what makes it priceless today. Imagine the emotions of someone who unknowingly possesses one of these ultra-rare coins. They may think it's just another penny, perhaps saved in a jar, tucked away in an old drawer, or found among a grandparent's belongings. Yet beneath that dull coppery glow lies the potential for unimaginable wealth. That single coin could transform their fortune overnight, catapulting them from an ordinary life into one marked by wealth and recognition in the collector's world. Auction houses that have handled these legendary coins describe the bidding wars as nothing short of electric. Collectors and investors from across the globe fight for the chance to own what few will ever see. Every time one is offered, it becomes a spectacle, proof that even the smallest denomination can command staggering sums when rarity and history collide. The very idea that a 1 cent coin could be worth millions challenges the imagination. And yet, the 1974 cent has done exactly that. It has shattered expectations and proven that even the humblest piece of currency can carry within it the power to change lives. It is a reminder that fortune does not always come in gold bars or massive treasures. It can come in the smallest pocket change, overlooked by most but revered by those who understand its significance. This is why the 1974 cent must never be underestimated. If you are ever lucky enough to find one, guard it carefully. Do not let it slip away for a trivial price. It is not just a penny, it is a treasure chest compressed into copper or aluminum, a tiny relic of the past with the potential to build an entirely new future. More than money, it is a story, a piece of America's numismatic soul. To own one is to own history, to stand at the crossroads of innovation, secrecy, and survival. It is to hold proof that even the most unassuming coin can become the most powerful of all. So the next time you look at a penny, remember the story of the 1974 1 cent coin. Somewhere out there, hidden in jars, drawers, or old collections, lies a fortune waiting to be discovered. And if fate places one in your hand, it will not just change your wallet, it will change your life forever. Next is... The year 1975 might seem like just another chapter in American coinage, but in truth, it hides one of the most astonishing stories in numismatic history. The 1975 1 cent coin from the United States is not simply a penny. It is a legendary artifact, a symbol of rarity so extraordinary that it has captivated collectors for decades. At first glance, it appears to be a simple Lincoln cent, the kind you might find rattling around in a jar of loose change. But hidden beneath its copper glow lies the possibility of unimaginable wealth, the kind of fortune that could transform an ordinary life into one of prosperity overnight. What makes the 1975 cent so fascinating is its peculiar place in history. For reasons tied to design changes and minting schedules, no official 1 cent coins dated 1975 were released for general circulation. The United States Mint prepared to introduce a special bicentennial redesign for other denominations, which made the Lincoln cent of 1975 a coin that should not exist, or at least not in the way we think. And yet, whispers within the numismatic world have long suggested that a handful of experimental strikes bearing the 1975 date may have slipped out of the mint, becoming treasures of unimaginable value. This is where the legend begins. Imagine a coin that technically was never supposed to reach the hands of the public, yet somehow managed to survive. Such a piece would be priceless to collectors, not only for its rarity but also for the mystery that surrounds it. Just the mere rumor of a surviving 1975 1 cent has been enough to stir auctions, ignite debates, and inspire countless treasure hunts in attics, basements, and coin collections across America. The market value for such a piece is beyond comprehension. In today's coin collecting world, if a genuine 1975 1 cent were confirmed, it would not just sell for thousands, it would soar into the millions. Why? Because rarity and impossibility are the twin engines of value in numismatics. A coin that should not exist, yet somehow does, carries with it a mystique that drives collectors into bidding frenzies. Even aside from the mythical survivors, ordinary 1970s Lincoln cents are examined carefully by collectors, hoping to find rare minting errors. Off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet can turn what appears to be a simple cent into a fortune. If such an error were tied to the year 1975, the value would be astronomical. It is not just about the coin itself, but about the story it carries. The story of chance, mistake, and survival against all odds. This is what makes the 1975 cent so engaging. It is not simply metal, it is history wrapped in mystery. Each whisper of its existence pushes collectors to look closer at their coins, to never dismiss even the most ordinary piece of change. Because in that moment of doubt, you may very well be holding a ticket to unimaginable fortune. Picture someone discovering such a coin in a dusty old drawer. They glance at it casually, seeing just another penny. But upon closer inspection, the date catches their eye. 1975. Their heart races, their mind spins, and suddenly, they realize that they could be holding one of the most valuable coins in the world. That instant changes everything, the weight of destiny resting in a single cent. Auction houses dream of such finds. If a true 1975 cent were authenticated, it would not just be sold, it would be celebrated. Collectors from around the globe would fight fiercely for ownership. It would be front-page news, the kind of discovery that shakes the entire coin-collecting world and rewrites the history books of American numismatics. For coin lovers, the thrill of the hunt is what keeps the fire alive. The 1975 cent represents the ultimate quest, the coin that haunts dreams and fuels passions. It is more than a collectible, it is the embodiment of what makes coin collecting so exhilarating, the chance that greatness hides in the most ordinary of places. This is why the 1975 1-cent coin has earned its place among the legends. Not because it is common, not because it is easy to find, but because it exists in that delicate space between reality and myth. To own it would not just mean wealth, it would mean possessing a story that very few on earth could ever tell. In today's market, such a coin could elevate a collector into the history books, transforming them into a legend themselves. And for the ordinary person who might stumble upon one, it could be the miracle that changes life forever, turning a simple copper disc into a doorway to fortune. The 1975 cent is proof that destiny sometimes hides in the smallest of things. It teaches us to look closer, to never overlook what seems too ordinary, because behind that plain surface might lie greatness beyond measure. So if you ever come across a penny bearing the year 1975, guard it with your life. It could be the key to wealth, the proof of a mystery, and the coin that carries the power to change your fortune in an instant. For collectors and dreamers alike, the 1975 1-cent coin is not just a piece of history. It is a treasure of mythic proportions, a reminder that the greatest fortunes sometimes come in the humblest forms. Next is... The year 1979 may seem ordinary in the long timeline of American coinage, but for those who know the hidden treasures of the numismatic world, the 1979 1-cent coin stands out as a mystery, a legend, and a possible life-changing discovery. At first glance, this cent looks no different than the countless Lincoln pennies you've held in your hand. But behind its simple copper facade lies the possibility of a fortune so unimaginable that it could transform an unsuspecting person into a millionaire overnight. To understand why the 1979 1-cent carries such weight, you must see it not just as a coin, but as a window into history. During the late 1970s, the United States Mint was transitioning through technical changes, shifting its processes and refining the way coins were struck. While billions of standard Lincoln cents were produced, rare variations and errors slipped into circulation. Coins with double dies, misstrikes, and unusual planchets that today are worth staggering sums. Among these, the 1979 1-cent has carved a name for itself as a treasure of extraordinary potential. Collectors search relentlessly for these elusive errors. A cent struck off-center, a coin missing its mint mark, or one struck on the wrong metal planchet can command not just thousands but even millions, depending on condition and rarity. The 1979 cent is especially prized because it was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and even subtle differences between them make certain examples highly sought after. A mint-state specimen with a dramatic error becomes the stuff of legend, igniting fierce bidding wars whenever one surfaces at auction. What makes this coin truly fascinating is how ordinary it appears. You could have walked past it 1,000 times, dismissed it as pocket change, and never guessed that it was worth a fortune. This is the magic of coins like the 1979 cent. They hide in plain sight. A single overlooked piece could be resting in an old jar, a family heirloom box, or even circulating through daily transactions, waiting for the sharp eyes of a collector to uncover its true identity. The power of this coin is not just in its rarity, but in the transformation it offers. To hold a 1979 1-cent with a rare error is to hold a ticket to an entirely new life. Imagine paying for a coffee with what you thought was an ordinary penny, only to discover later that it was worth millions. This is the kind of story that fuels dreams and inspires treasure hunters across the world. For the coin collecting community, the 1979 cent embodies the thrill of discovery. It is proof that not all treasures are hidden deep underground or locked in museums. Sometimes they live in the everyday objects we ignore. This is why collectors scrutinize each coin, magnifying glasses in hand, because they know that the smallest mistake in minting can turn copper into gold. The history surrounding this coin is equally mesmerizing. The Lincoln cent, first struck in 1909, had by 1979 become a symbol of America's enduring legacy. Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse tied it to both past and present. But within this sea of ordinary production, rare anomalies emerged, making certain coins priceless. The 1979 cent is not just a piece of metal, it is a relic of this era, with the potential to rewrite a collector's destiny. Every time a rare 1979 cent surfaces at an auction, it captures headlines. Collectors from around the world descend, prepared to pay unimaginable sums to own a piece of history that only a select few will ever hold. The excitement, the drama, and the sheer awe of witnessing bids climb into the millions remind us why numismatics is far more than a hobby. It is a world of passion, history, and fortune. For the ordinary person, the lesson is clear: never overlook a penny. That small coin in your drawer may be the one that carries the power to change your life. If it happens to be a 1979 cent with the right error or rarity, then what you thought was worth 1 cent may instead be worth more than an entire lifetime's earnings. It is not an exaggeration to say that this coin can make you a billionaire overnight. The market is hungry for ultra-rare pieces, and collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay whatever it takes. This is not just about money, it is about owning a slice of mystery and history that cannot be replicated. The 1979 cent story is a reminder of how thin the line is between ordinary and extraordinary. A penny is meant to be the smallest, most humble denomination, yet within its tiny frame lies the possibility of greatness. That paradox is what makes the 1979 1 cent one of the most exciting coins in all of American numismatics. So, if you ever stumble upon one, do not spend it, do not dismiss it, and certainly do not let it go cheaply. Guard it with care, because it carries not only copper and history but also the potential to rewrite your fortune. The 1979 1 cent coin is proof that the most powerful treasures often come in the smallest packages. It is a coin that symbolizes hope, chance, and the thrilling possibility that one moment can change everything. And above all, it is a reminder that even the humblest penny has the power to outshine gold when destiny decides to smile upon it. Next is the 1985 1 cent coin from the United States might look like nothing more than a simple penny, a small copper-plated coin that millions of people use daily without ever giving it a second thought. But what many don't realize is that this very coin carries with it a hidden world of value, mystery, and life-changing fortune. It is not just a piece of change. It is a potential golden ticket that has the power to turn an ordinary individual into a billionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that right. A coin as small and humble as the 1985 penny could hold the unimaginable. What makes the 1985 1 cent so extraordinary is the rare possibility of errors and unique varieties that occurred during its production. The mid-1980s were a time when the U.S. Mint was heavily adjusting its techniques after the transition from bronze cents to copper-plated zinc cents, which began in 1982. This new composition often led to minting flaws, off-center strikes, double die obverse, misaligned dies, or coins struck on leftover bronze planchets. These errors, which were accidents at the time, today make the 1985 cent a treasure far beyond its face value. To a collector, this coin is not just a penny, it is a symbol of rarity. Imagine holding a cent with a double date or a misprinted mint mark. That tiny difference can catapult its value from 1 cent to millions of dollars. It's almost surreal to think that something you could pick up off the sidewalk might secretly be one of the rarest coins in the entire numismatic market. That is why coin enthusiasts around the world keep their eyes peeled, searching tirelessly for this gem from 1985. The charm of the 1985 cent lies not only in its errors but also in its legacy. The Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for decades, becoming one of the most beloved and recognizable coins in America. By 1985, billions were minted, but within that massive production run were a handful of mistakes that slipped past unnoticed. Those mistakes turned ordinary copper-colored discs into pieces of history, coins that could change the life of whoever discovers them. Think about it. You could have this coin lying unnoticed in a jar of pennies, tucked away in an old box, or perhaps handed back as change decades ago. People often overlook pennies because they seem too small to matter. Yet, the 1985 cent proves that the smallest things sometimes hold the biggest surprises. A single penny from that year, if it carries the right rarity, could buy mansions, cars, or even an empire. Collectors often describe finding such a coin as a once-in-a-lifetime miracle. Auction houses have seen rare pennies spark bidding wars, with collectors willing to pay unimaginable sums for the chance to own a piece of minting history. When a rare 1985 cent surfaces, the energy in the room is electric. The bids climb, the stakes rise, and the excitement is beyond words. For those who own one, the fortune is only the beginning. What sets this coin apart is its unpredictability. Unlike gold or silver coins whose value is tied to their metal, the 1985 cent derives its power from rarity, condition, and story. A flawless mint error in perfect uncirculated condition is so scarce that it becomes priceless in the eyes of collectors. The knowledge that only a handful exist in the world drives values higher and higher, making this coin an ultimate prize. The 1985 penny also stands as a reminder of how history leaves traces in unexpected ways. Each cent minted in that year carried not only Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, but also the spirit of a nation pushing through technological and economic change. Within that wave of mass production, the rare mistakes became accidental treasures, proof that perfection is not always the most valuable thing. Sometimes, flaws are what make something truly extraordinary. The financial power of this coin cannot be overstated. Imagine picking up what you thought was a common cent, only to realize it could sell for millions of dollars. That moment would be life-changing, a sudden twist of fate that turns the smallest coin in your hand into a symbol of unlimited possibility. The 1985 cent embodies that dream of unexpected fortune. But beyond money, this coin holds emotional value. It is about the thrill of discovery, the joy of uncovering something rare, and the pride of owning a piece of history. Collectors chase it not only for profit but also for passion, for the story it tells and the beauty it carries. This makes the 1985 cent more than just a currency. It is art, history, and destiny rolled into one. The magic of this coin lies in its dual identity, ordinary in appearance, extraordinary in reality. It teaches us never to dismiss the small things in life, because sometimes the smallest carry the greatest power. It is not just a coin, it is a key that can unlock unimaginable futures. So, if you happen to come across a 1985 1-cent coin, don't be quick to spend it or toss it aside. Study it carefully, treasure it, and protect it. Because that one tiny disc of copper and zinc might just hold the ability to rewrite your story forever. The 1985 penny is more than money. It is mystery, hope, and opportunity combined. It is proof that hidden among the coins we overlook are treasures waiting to be discovered. And if destiny places one of these ultra-rare pennies in your hands, you will know the true meaning of fortune. At the end of the day, the 1985 1-cent coin is a reminder that even the humblest coin can carry unimaginable power. It is a coin that whispers a promise of wealth, a coin that hides its brilliance beneath the ordinary, and a coin that just might make you a billionaire overnight if you are lucky enough to find it.